The Backstreet Boys.
There they are. Give it up for your stars. Oscar nominated.
Hello. Hello.
205, not bad.
I was way late yesterday, so...
I know, you were late.
Hey.
Where are your friends, your counterparts, your bandmates?
They're in the bathroom.
Oh.
All three together.
Nick. Oh, there's Kevin. Mr. Brian Littrell. And Nicholas Jean Carter. All right, guys, congratulations. I think they loved your documentary.
Did you guys like it?
Whoa, you're both rocking.
Was it emotional?
I just felt the minute you sat down, I was like, whoa. Wow.
Was it like everything you expected? Was there like a lot of highs and a lot of lows? Was it emotional? Did anybody cry? A bunch of babies.
Hey Howie, I have to confess, I was watching out there, and in the story about Kevin's dad, man, I was back there crying. I've seen it before.
It was.
So I apologize if I get a little emotional.
I'm sorry, but I can't stop staring at Kevin to the ground. Another Kevin dress. We got a Nick Carter dress. We got a Kevin Kev dress. That is beautiful. Y'all, that's pretty awesome. Nice. And it's recyclable.
All right, we're gonna start with the first question right there.
Hello.
I wanted to ask Nick about going back to school, because we didn't see that in the clip, but you know, we've seen other little clips about it and how it affected you to see where you went to school and seeing some of your old teachers and stuff.
I didn't, when we were filming it, I didn't think it would affect me as much as it actually did. And I think it's probably because I blocked a lot of it out of my life. You know, tried to always push forward and kind of forget some of the things that, you know, were a lot harder in my life. But then when I got there, it was like, I had to face reality. I had to face things. For me, it was like, I don't know if the guys felt the same way, but for me, it was like I was forced to kind of relive a part of my life that really was hard for me. And, you know, you kind of see that. But, you know, obviously, for all of us, I think, seeing our teachers, it's nice to know where, you know, when you go back and you see where you came from, you know, that actually helps you remember a lot about yourself, you know, and, you know, the things that were good about, you know, and where you came from in a lot of ways. So I think it was a learning experience, and it was something that, for all of us, I think, it taught us something. But it was definitely emotional, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't think I would be that affected by it.
You did good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but watching that thing go back and forth is freaking me out right now. I'm looking at you guys, I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh my God.
All right, the next question back there with Michelle.
Hi. I'm back here.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
There's a pole blocking you, sorry. Much better.
What was the hardest thing that each of you had to reveal during the documentary?
Had to reveal?
Keep some a secret, guys.
We don't want to give the whole film away. And all the little...
I don't want to say that this is giving anything away, but I mean, there's, you know, obviously everybody knows about what we went through with Lou and that whole fiasco, but I think no one's ever really heard it from the horse's mouth. You've heard bits and pieces from what the media's told you, from maybe one or two of us, but to really hear each of our individual opinions and how it affected us individually, because it did suck. I mean, you know, Lou was a huge, huge part of our career, of our life. It's what started everything. And then for that to be kind of not taken away from us, but just to learn about all the lies and all the bullshit and everything that came from someone that we all looked up to was really hard. And I think that's something that no one really knows about it, like the real truth coming from all of us. But I mean, there is a lot of things throughout the whole film that you'll see from each of us that are personal things that you don't know about us. I mean, obviously, being a diehard Backstreet Boy fan, we know that you guys know pretty much everything about us. But you will learn a lot from this film that you don't know, which is what makes it such a great film. So, hopefully you enjoy it in its entirety.
Back there with Sean. I would like, from what we have seen so far, we could see that you got together and each one of you had the chance to revive something from your past and together and share a lot of things. I would like to know if somehow did it change the way that you saw the other one? I know your interactions or your relationship or the respect you have to each one of you that you had from the other, something like that.
I think going back to each of our hometowns, I think that actually gave us a new perspective on each of us. I think it helped. Sometimes, you know, looking back on it, we've been together now 20 years, but there was, you know, way more than 20 years of life before that. And for each of us, some even more. Well, Kevin, you were 21, you started. Nick was less, so 12 years for him.
Infant.
But what I'm getting at is that I think it helped us understand sometimes the little things.
Sorry, I got sand in my nose from earlier.
It helped us understand the little things, maybe some of the good things and the bad things of why each of our characters are the way we are. If you can kind of understand that, like by saying, like now I understand why AJ sneezes all the time.
My shoulder's wet.
He came from a house that had a lot of mold. So, and now I get
he's actually allergic to Howie's voice.
Apparently. I'm sorry, dude.
It's a hoarse voice, that's for
Listen,
sure.
that's why in blocking, when we're on stage dancing, you'll notice that Howie and AJ are not a whole lot. They're not close by each other. I mean, that's the honest to God.
Gotta keep them away from each other.
I have Claritin with me.
Sorry, Howie. Sorry. It's you, man. We did the whole slip and slide thing together today, so that's why I started it.
You know, I gotta say something. For me, it was cool to go to Brian's school because we've heard, we're not for him, but because when you hear those, we've heard these stories, you know, for years. You know, we'll talk about them, and then you can only in your own imagination sort of make up what you think actually happened, but then when you go there, you know, so we were able to see those things the same time that you were able to see them, you know, in the movie and live this. So it was really cool to see those things kind of come to life. Like his teacher, his classroom, you know, Kevin's camp, the church, you know, like AJ's school, you know, that was amazing as well. Howie's house, and, you know, just like all these things. We were living it at the same time that you are seeing it. So it's pretty real, so.
Next question is with Michelle in the back.
It's actually a little more real than we wanted it to be. But here it is.
Hi guys.
Hey.
I'm Bianca. Nice to see you for a millionth time. So, I actually was one of the lucky ones that got to see the full thing, and I won't reveal anything, but I will say that it really evoked a lot of memories over the last 19 years of my life that I wasn't expecting or were kind of closeted or just kind of like moments that paralleled what you guys were going through, where I was a teenager and graduating high school and college and everything else in between. And I'm wondering, and actually the first time I met a lot of people on this cruise was on Howie's DLF cruise 10 years ago. So yeah. And I'm wondering, of the memories that kind of got dredged up from doing the documentary, which one stuck out the most? And I think we touched on this a little bit earlier, so I don't want to have you guys reveal anything, but something that you just really didn't expect that you were going to think about that suddenly became a thing.
I just think it's cool, like, all of us keeping so much archive footage from our families, from each other. I mean, as we were making the film, each of us would be like, oh man, I think I have that same video in better quality, or that same audio file in better quality, and we would go find it. And seeing some of that old stuff back with Johnny Wright, and all that stuff, the middle school tours, and just seeing all that stuff, it's mind-blowing. And now, like, for me personally, getting to, obviously she's still too young, but like my little girl likes to watch all of our videos, and she knows, she can't say each of our names the best, but she knows, like if I say, where's Howie, she'll point at Howie.
And then she'll sneeze.
Although there was a vintage T-shirt that a fan gave me from our first tour, and I was like, Eva, which one's Daddy? Is this Daddy? Yes. Is this Daddy? Yes. Everybody was Daddy. I was like, Rochelle. We have to have a little talk. This could be the end of Backstreet Boys right now. Tell me right now. No, but to be able to share that with our kids and like show, I'm sure these guys, because they've got, you know, kids that are older, they've been able to show their, you know, boys, this is what Daddy, you know, used to do. It still does. I know seeing Mason see his dad perform for the first time at Good Morning America, he got really emotional. That whole emotional Richardson thing that happens a lot. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
But it was funny because he was like, remember he was like, do you want to see the show? And then you said from your son's perspective of what he thought, remember?
Oh yeah, well, to wrap up what you said, he was freaked out at Good Morning America. He got freaked out and started crying. But then at the end, he loved it and was taking pictures with the girls. But when we were in rehearsal, he was sitting in the, we were at Irvine in the amphitheater. He was sitting in the audience with Tone, and he was watching our choreography, and he leaned over to Tony, he's like, are they together? Are they doing that together? And Tone was like, no, but they're supposed to. He's like, Mason has an eye. He noticed you guys weren't together. You weren't synced up on your choreography.
Just like Daddy. Just like that. It's crazy, man.
And then when we got out on tour, he watched the show. He watched one show all the way through. And then after that, I'd be like, son, you wanna come watch the show tonight? He's like, nah. I'm gonna sit on the bus.
He's all,
and play video games.
he's like, Dad, I already earned my keep, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Once was enough.
All right,
But
next
yeah.
question's up at the top.
Hi guys, I'm Stephanie. My question is that we heard a song on the documentary that we haven't heard before that didn't make the album. So where do songs that you've written that don't make the album, where do those go? And,
Space.
A hidden vortex.
You go onto YouTube.
Whenever you want to hear them, you just go on
Basically,
YouTube.
yeah.
They're there.
We're actually creating a soundtrack for the movie as well. So there will be some songs.
I never saw that
Yeah.
coming. That sounds
We also would love to maybe, even though you guys have probably everything that has been on YouTube and whatnot, but we would hopefully down the road maybe like to do an unreleased album. Obviously, we may go back and tweak a couple things or have things remastered, but there has been so many songs that we've been really fortunate to either get from writers or that we've written that never saw the light of day. So we wanted to, share that with you guys properly not on YouTube. And a full package deal.
Okay, next question.
Hi, my name is Hannah. First of all, I wanted to thank you, Kevin, for sharing the story about your father. My mother actually died from leukemia in 2007, and we shared you guys. That was a big thing that we shared together. She actually went to meet you guys with me for the first time back in like 2001. So I was just wondering, like, what was something that all of you shared with your close people to you? Like, I shared you guys with my mom, because you guys are awesome and you just mean so much to me because of her.
Thank you.
You just wanted to share that with us, or you want to know if some of us have some more stuff?
I was basically wondering what like close memories you guys have with your family or loved ones.
Gotcha.
Thank you for the translation.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So yours with your mother was when you first met us, right?
Figuring it out together.
Like some great memories that I have of other family members, like the first University of Kentucky football game that I ever went to. I went with my papa, Brian and my grandfather, and I was like 7 years old. So now, ever since then, I've been hooked. I'm a big Cats fan now. So yeah, stuff like that. Is that what we're talking about?
No,
Yes, that's it. Yes, Kevin, you're right.
Yeah, that's what you wanted us to
Good
share.
job.
what she asked. Good job. Good answer.
No, I mean,
You were the prize.
for me, my grandmother was my everything. She took me to my first audition when I was 4. You know, I grew up in musical theater, all that stuff, modeling, which was really weird. I saw my first breasts when I was 5. It was awesome. And everything's downhill from there for me. No, but yeah, she was my biggest inspiration, and I know she's super proud looking down and, you know, knowing that I never gave up. You know, I kept doing what I love to do, because to be honest, I really don't know how to do much else. I mean, I just learned how to do my own laundry about 2 years ago. It's pretty sad. So this is what I love, and it's all because of her. So
I was gonna also say, in this documentary, like I say, we had the chance to go to each of our hometowns, and we got so much footage from that. There were so many things that this the final version that you'll see that's gonna come out the end of January, theatrical release in the States, and then in February, everywhere else, Europe and everywhere else. But from that, it was very hard. We had about, I think, like 6 to 8 different takes different edits that we got down to this final version. But just recently, a couple of days ago, we all approved some extra footage, some bonus footage for the DVD, which is gonna be really cool because it's, like I said, there was just so much great stuff that we just couldn't fit all in just, you know, within 2 hours. Or probably would have been like 5 hours. Probably you guys would have been bored as hell. But there's a lot of great stuff. So definitely get the DVD as well.
Yeah, the first edit was 3 hours, and then we got it down to 2 hours. But all the good stuff we had to shave off will be on the DVD.
I was gonna.
We'll take 10.
Say something really fast. My dad worked at IBM for like 33 and a half years, and every day he would work under like this 2,500-pound ink machine. That's when ink existed. And so every day he'd come back from work and he would get home about, I don't know, about 13 minutes after 5 every day. And I would be coming in from school, I have to do my homework right away. I'd watch DuckTales or something like that. And then every time I'd sit by the door and I'd wait for him, and he'd come in and he'd take his steel-toe boots off, and he'd look down at me and he'd say, "Get your mitt." And so that's my baseball mitt. So we would go out and pass until it got dark, until mom had dinner ready. So that's like a fond memory that as a child, and now I get to do that with my boy. So. Yeah.
Good answer. All right, next question.
I was really preparing
Upstairs.
All
to say
right.
that because I did not want to cry.
Hi
I
guys.
suck. I was like,
Hey guys.
It's like, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Soraya from Portugal, and I just wanted to know, we saw in the clip that you were in London for a few weeks, just yourselves, and that even after 20 years, you still were learning new things about each other. So I wanted to know what were like your favorite things about each other that you found out in your time in London.
oh damn.
Really?
It was 22
I'm gonna
days.
pass on
That's
that.
what it was. 22 days.
When we got to London, actually, we all got there at separate times. And we all had to pick bedrooms. And that was the fun process. Actually,
Yeah, we were
Brian-
staying in the same house. Go ahead.
Yep. Actually, Brian and I got there first. And I was going to let Kevin have the master room since he just came back. He's the oldest. But Brian snuck in here and got it before him.
I was like, hell no.
Not happening on my watch.
And I was like, damn, I
Oh,
should
damn, where's my watch at?
Found out from you over breakfast some really good news about your second little boy.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting there having breakfast. These guys were having mimosas. Brian's making some kick-ass scrambled eggs and
Breakfast burritos.
breakfast burritos over here. And we had a little group prayer and a little toast, and Howie went up for a second toast, and we all just kind of looked at him and were like, oh shit, what's it gonna be? Sure enough, like that's awesome to get to experience that together as a group. You know, stuff like that's just awesome.
For me, I feel like, you know, we know each other really well, you know, almost too well sometimes. And I feel like it wasn't necessarily, I think we learned some new stuff about one another, but it really was all about just having time together, you know, with just the five of us. You know, life is moving so fast, you know, people have families now, and, you know, it becomes harder to, you know, so in a lot of ways it was like training camp, you know, you're kind of forced to go into and be together, and that's when, you know, magical things happen. And, you know, this is a bond that has, you know, withstood the test of time for the past 23, 24 years, you know, and it was important, you know, to get us back in there, especially Kevin he had just come back again, and, you know, we needed, in a lot of ways, actually, now that I think about it, we had to get to know Kevin again, in a lot of ways, you know, and so we learned that, but really it was kind of like getting on a bike again. But I do want to say something, I don't want to bring the mood down, but I got the shit end of the stick because I am the youngest of the group, and I got this loft, okay? Had no air conditioning, but I was very fortunate to be able to spend a lot of time because Q was right downstairs in that loft with me. So we were able to have quality time, which is what I was getting at.
Oh, don't worry. He made up for it. He had 5 maids cleaning up after him in the kitchen every day.
And
learned about each other's
Brian brought you
cleanliness.
tea. Brian brought you tea. So, yep.
We learned about each other's cooking habits, cleanliness habits, all that stuff really quickly within that week there of cooking breakfast in the mornings before going to sessions.
And 20 mornings out of 22, I woke up and Nick and I were spooning, so. Just for some reason, he found his way down. He's like,
He wakes up,
I'm like,
he's
oh.
That's a great photo for all of us to have. All right, Michelle, next question.
You woke up, he said, where's your hand? He said, between 2 pillows.
It's between two
He said,
ferns.
those aren't pillows.
Hello.
Oh.